Everything begins with the imagination. There is no outside cause. There is no external power arranging circumstances on your behalf. All things exist in your consciousness. And it is within this sacred chamber of awareness that the drama of life unfolds. If you desire to manifest instantly, you must understand the simple, profound truth that imagination creates reality. The world you see is only the outpicturing of what you have entertained in consciousness. Nothing more, nothing less. Now let us begin with the first step, which is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You are not waiting for something to happen, you are causing it by entering the state where it already has happened. Do not be fooled by appearances, for appearances are but shadows cast by your inner conversations and imaginal acts. When I say assume, I do not mean to pretend in a superficial manner. I mean to inwardly accept with full conviction that your desire is now your reality. This is not a matter of effort, but of stillness, a quiet decision made in the depths of your being that you are what you long to be. To do this, you must quiet the outer man. Turn away from the world of facts and enter the world of truth. The outer senses will argue. They will present evidence to the contrary. They will show you the lack, the delay, the absence. But you are not interested in what is. You are only interested in what you choose to be. This choice is made not with words, but with feeling. Feeling is the secret. When you feel something deeply, you give it life. You clothe it in flesh. You draw it out of the invisible into the visible. Go into a quiet place. Relax your body. Breathe deeply. Then take a scene, a short, simple scene that implies your desire has been fulfilled. If you wish to be rich, imagine yourself feeling the texture of a fine suit, or seeing the balance of your bank account filled with abundance. If you wish for love, feel the warmth of your partner's hand in yours. Let this scene be vivid. Let it be real to you. And most importantly, let it feel natural. Now here is where most falter. They imagine the scene and immediately return to their senses, searching for signs, wondering if it worked, doubting the process. That is not manifestation. That is disbelief. When the seed is planted, you do not dig it up to see if it is growing. You assume the growth. You trust the process. Likewise, once the imaginal act is done, you must rest in the knowledge that it is done. There is no striving, no pushing, no doubting. You have seen it. You have felt it. It is done. Imagination and faith are the only tools you will ever need. Faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. It is standing still while the winds of circumstance blow around you, confident that your inner act is the only cause. You may not know how it will unfold, nor should you care. The how is not your concern. You are not to meddle with the bridge of incidents. That is the job of the law. Your only task is to remain faithful to the end. Live as though it is already so. Walk, talk, and breathe from the end. As you walk through the day, refuse to be influenced by what contradicts your vision. You are not here to react to the world. You are here to create it. So if someone says something that seems to deny your desire, you need not argue or defend. Simply return inward and affirm what you know to be true. The outer world is but an echo. It cannot resist your persistent inner assumption. It must by law conform to the pattern you have accepted. When I speak of instant manifestation, I do not mean that the physical form appears in the blink of an eye, although that too is possible. I mean that the moment you accept something in imagination, it is already done. Creation is finished. The instant you enter the state, the thing is yours. Time is only the medium through which it is expressed. But in consciousness, the manifestation is instant. And if you remain faithful, it must outpicture itself. There is a rhythm to this law. It is like planting a seed. You must water it daily with attention and faith. But the watering is not laborious, it is joyful. You wake up and remember who you are. You remember what you have already claimed. You do not ask, where is it? For that implies it is absent. You say, thank you, for that implies it is already yours. Gratitude is the language of fulfillment. It is the tone of completion. Now beware of inner arguments. Beware of conversations in your mind that deny what you have accepted. They may be subtle. You may hear yourself saying, but what if it doesn't happen? Or I hope it works. These are weeds in your garden. They must be uprooted. Speak only from the end. Think only from the end. Feel only from the end. Do not entertain anything that contradicts your desired state. This is the discipline of the soul, and you will find that the world begins to move. Events will rearrange themselves. People will come into your life. Opportunities will arise. But all of this is secondary. The real movement happened within you. The outer world is merely catching up to the inner decision. You will laugh one day, looking back, realizing that the thing you thought would take years came to pass effortlessly, because you dared to believe in the invisible. There is no power outside of your imagination. All things were made by it, and without it was not anything made that was made. You are the operant power. You are not a victim of fate. You are not subject to chance. You are the creator, clothed in human form, dreaming dreams into reality. And the method of creation is always the same. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption. Do not confuse this with daydreaming or idle fantasy. I am speaking of living from the state, not merely thinking of it. Thinking of a thing implies separation. Thinking from it implies union. When you think from wealth, you feel secure. When you think from love, you feel cherished. When you think from health, you feel vibrant. These feelings are not caused by the outer world, they are the cause of the outer world. So how do you remain in the state once you've assumed it? You return to it whenever you slip. You make it your dwelling place. Just as one returns home at the end of the day, you return to the state of your desire. If doubt arises, you do not panic. You simply shift again. You imagine the scene once more. You feel it once more. You speak as though it were already true. And gradually the state becomes stable. It becomes natural. It becomes your home. And that is the key, naturalness. Manifestation is not forced. It is allowed. It comes easily when you no longer argue with it. The moment you feel that having your desire is natural, it must appear. So do not strain. Do not beg. Do not chase. Simply be. Be the one you desire to be. Be it now, not tomorrow. Let the feeling soak into every corner of your being. Wear it like a second skin. Let me remind you again. Everything begins in imagination. You are always imagining, whether consciously or unconsciously. The world you experience is your imagination pushed out. So become aware of what you are imagining. Guard your thoughts. Watch your reactions. These are clues to your inner state. And if the state is not aligned with your desire, you must change it. Not by fighting the old, but by assuming the new. Do not look to others for validation. They cannot see what you see. They cannot feel what you feel. But in time they will witness the evidence. And when they do, they will call it luck, coincidence, or destiny. But you will know it was imagination all along. You will know that you stepped into a new state, and the world rearranged itself accordingly. Now is the appointed time, not tomorrow, not someday. Now, you can claim anything you desire in this moment. The door is always open. The invitation is always present. The only question is, will you walk through it? Will you dare to believe that your imagination is God? Will you accept the responsibility and the freedom that comes with that knowing? Manifestation is not a skill. It is your nature. It is what you do with every thought, every feeling, every assumption. You are always creating. The only question is, are you creating consciously or unconsciously? To manifest instantly is to awaken to this truth and use it deliberately. Imagine lovingly, feel deeply, persist faithfully, and do not be concerned with appearances. They are but shadows. The light is within you, and as you hold your desire in consciousness, not as a hope, but as a present fact, the world must reflect it. You need no special tools, no rituals, no lengthy affirmations. All you need is a vision and the courage to claim it as already yours. You do not wait for the world to change. You change within, and the world, being a faithful servant, must follow your lead. So I say to you now, whatever you desire, it is already yours. Not in some distant future, but here, now, in this moment of awareness. Accept it, feel it, live from it, and let the world catch up to the masterpiece you have painted within. Remember, you are not becoming, you already are. Manifestation is the unveiling of what you have always been. Remain in the state, dwell in it. Let it be the only reality you recognize. When you wake up in the morning, before you even open your eyes, return to your assumption. Feel it again. Touch it with your mind. Let it shape the mood of your day. Do not let the senses pull you away from what you know to be true. If you have imagined correctly, then it is so. The outer world will echo the inner world when the inner world becomes stable, persistent and dominant. You see, consciousness is the only reality. Everything else is a projection. The house, the job, the partner, the wealth, these are all conditions that rise and fall in the ocean of consciousness. If you want to change your life, you do not chase conditions. You rise in consciousness. You step into the version of yourself where the desire is already realized. That version of you already exists. In the eternal present, all states are real. All possibilities are now. You are not creating something from nothing. You are selecting it from the infinite storehouse of being. So how do you select? With feeling, with belief, with inner vision. If you can imagine it and feel the thrill of it being real, then you have chosen it. The law will take care of the rest. Do not force the unfolding. Do not measure the distance. Walk in faith. Walk in the assumption that you are what you desire to be, and trust the law of consciousness to bring it forth. Let me remind you again. Imagination is not just a tool. It is the creative power itself. When you imagine something and accept it as real, you have performed a creative act. The world must respond. It has no choice. It is not a matter of whether it will come but when. And that when depends entirely on your inner conviction. Are you stable in your assumption? Or are you shifting from state to state? Doubting, hoping, fearing, and therefore delaying your own manifestation. There is no punishment in this law, only expression. You are not judged. You are not condemned. But you are always creating. The moment you assume a state and persist in it, the world is compelled to reflect it. There are no exceptions. There is no favoritism. The law operates with mathematical precision. And the law is this. What you feel yourself to be, you become. What you occupy in imagination, you externalize in experience. This is why I urge you to guard your thoughts. Not in fear, but in awareness. Not every idle thought manifests instantly. But sustained inner activity does. If you dwell on something, you give it life. If you rehearse lack, conflict or fear, you will bring it into form. If you rehearse joy, wealth and peace, the same law will bring that into form. The law is impersonal. It does not favor good or bad. It reflects what is accepted as true. So I ask you now, what are you accepting as true? What do you entertain in your quiet moments? What do you feel when no one is watching? That is your state. And that state will harden into fact. You cannot fool this law. You cannot lie to consciousness. If you say one thing and feel another, it is the feeling that will manifest. Feeling is the secret. Words mean nothing unless they are clothed with feeling. Repetition alone is not enough unless it carries the vibration of belief. So when you speak your desires, speak them with feeling. When you imagine your scenes, imagine them with emotion. Not desperate wanting, but the quiet confidence that it is already done. That you are already it. You are not begging. You are not seeking approval. You are the source. You are the dreamer in whom the whole world exists. There is nothing outside of you to grant your desire. You are the grantor. You are the power that manifests all things. Let this sink deeply into your awareness. You are not separate from your desire. You are one with it. If you want it, it is because it already exists within you. You do not desire what you do not already have the capacity to express. The desire is the signal that the thing is ready to be born. Your job is to bring it forth by assuming the state and living from it. Just as a pregnant woman carries her child before it is born, so too do you carry your desire in the womb of imagination before it is seen by others. Do not rush the birth. Do not worry about the timing. Focus instead on the feeling of already having it. Feel it so completely that you forget the former things. That is when the shift occurs. That is when the old self dies and the new self is born. And the world reflects the birth with astonishing accuracy. You will look around one day and realize that the people, the places, the things, they have all changed. But they changed because you changed. You became a new version of yourself. And the world had no choice but to mirror that change. This is why I tell you, Consciousness is the only reality. You must go within. You must see and feel and know from within. The outer world is the shadow. Imagination is the substance. Everything that has ever happened in your life began as a thought, a feeling, a state. So go now into the state of your desire. Live there. Think from it. Act from it. Respond from it. And watch how quickly the world reshapes itself to accommodate your inner world. There is no need to hustle. There is no need to prove anything to anyone. You do not need to show others that you are manifesting. That desire is born of the ego. What you manifest inwardly will soon be seen outwardly. And when it comes, it will come so naturally, so effortlessly, that you will barely remember a time when it was not yours. You will walk through the new scene as if it had always been this way. That is the beauty of true manifestation. It feels normal. It feels inevitable. So do not worry if nothing seems to be happening. Trust the invisible. Trust that your imaginal act was successful. Return to it nightly. Before sleep, let it be the last thought that carries you into the subconscious. Let your dream world be saturated with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. That is where the magic happens. That is where the seed takes root. And when you wake as a new being, in a new world. You may notice subtle shifts at first: a phone call, a smile, an invitation, a coincidence. These are not accidents. These are the outpicturing of your inner world. Celebrate them. Rejoice in them. But do not become distracted by them. Stay focused on the end. Stay faithful to the unseen, and more will unfold. And if doubt arises, as it sometimes does, do not fight it. Simply return to the state. Gently, lovingly redirect your attention. Doubt is not a sin. It is simply a reminder to recommit. You are not punished for doubting. You are simply delayed. But even delay is not real. For all things exist now. The only delay is in your awareness of it. Shift your attention and the delay disappears. You are the operant power, not circumstances, not others, not even time. You alone determine what is real for you, and you determine it by what you feel to be true. So feel it now. Feel it fully. Let the old story go. Let the past dissolve. You are under no obligation to stay loyal to a version of yourself that no longer serves you. The door to the new state is always open. Walk through it boldly. Walk as if it is already done. Let your imagination be your only guide. Let your inner vision lead you. The outer world may still show traces of the old, but ignore them. Do not be distracted. Do not react. Simply return to the feeling. Persist in it. Saturate yourself with it, and watch as the world bends to your inner command. Now understand this. Your imagination is sacred. It is the workshop of the divine within you. It is not a place for idle daydreams or fleeting wishes, but a powerful realm where your desires take form and substance to manifest instantly, or as instantly as your consciousness allows. You must enter this workshop consciously, deliberately, and with feeling. When you do, you become the sculptor of your reality. You hold the clay. You shape the vision. You breathe life into the unseen. And the moment you feel that creation complete in your mind, your world is compelled to rearrange itself to mirror that inner fact. The key is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is the secret Neville Goddard always taught. That feeling is the cause. The desire is the effect. Without feeling, the desire remains a wish, a hope, a longing. But when feeling is introduced, when the heart embraces the idea as real, the universe cannot resist. It must yield. Do not mistake this for magic that requires external conditions. It is a spiritual truth, metaphysical yet practical. The law of consciousness is absolute. Your inner state rules outer conditions, like the sun rules the day. Where your consciousness dwells, there your reality will follow. So you must become skilled at moving into your wish fulfilled. This means constructing a scene in your imagination that implies your desire is already accomplished. Not a broad vague hope, but a vivid, sensory-rich moment that you can experience from within. The smell, the sounds, the colors, the textures, and most importantly, the feelings, the warmth, the joy, the gratitude, the satisfaction. Hold that scene as if it were true now. Enter it as if you have stepped through a door into your desired state. Do this repeatedly until the old beliefs, doubts, and contrary evidence dissolve. Your mind begins to accept this new reality as fact.
It becomes your new I am. Remember that your subconscious does not distinguish between real and imagined experiences. It accepts as true whatever you impress upon it with feeling. That is why persistence is key. You may not see the outer evidence immediately, but your inner world will be changing, laying the groundwork for your manifestation. Do not let impatience steal your faith. Many have failed simply because they stopped imagining before the manifestation came. They lost confidence and returned to the old reality. But your task is to be steadfast, to trust the unseen more than the seen. Every night before sleep is a perfect opportunity to impress your subconscious. As you drift towards sleep, replay your scene. Feel it more intensely than before. Let your last thoughts be filled with your fulfilled desire. This plants the seed deep in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Once planted, the seed grows quietly. The outside world adjusts in perfect harmony. Opportunities, ideas, people, and events appear as if by magic. But it is the law acting, not magic. Your imagination is the cause. The world is the effect. You may find yourself in moments where external reality seems to contradict your inner assumption. Do not be discouraged. That is the nature of the physical realm. It moves slower. It lags behind your consciousness. Keep your focus inward. Resist the temptation to react to appearances. Appearances are not reality. They are but reflections of yesterday's consciousness. Keep your assumption alive with feeling, and you will see the outer world begin to conform. The instant of manifestation is always in your consciousness first. The world must catch up. Take care with your thoughts throughout the day. Avoid entering into conversations or media that pull you back into lack or limitation. You are a creator. You are not here to be distracted by doubts or negativity. You are here to create. That requires a certain vigilance, a sacred attention to your inner state. Know that your desire is never out of reach. It is always near, waiting for your assumption to meet it. It is like a friend standing just beyond the door. The door opens only when you turn the knob from the inside. Your inner feeling is that knob. When you grasp it and turn with conviction, the door swings wide. So practice daily the art of living in the end. Do not worry how it will come or when. Let go of the need for visible proof. Focus entirely on the felt experience of the wish fulfilled. This is the power that Neville Goddard illuminated for us, that we are the imaginal creators of our world. Nothing exists outside of us that we did not first conceive within. To manifest instantly or swiftly is simply to harmonize your consciousness so fully with your desire that it cannot help but appear. Imagine then that your desire is already yours. Feel it, live it, breathe it, let it saturate your entire being. Then let the world respond to that powerful declaration of your being. There is no limit to what you can manifest when you know this truth, and live it consistently. Stay faithful to the feeling. Stay committed to your assumption, and watch as all things come to pass in perfect order and timing, reflecting the reality you have chosen within. And so remember this above all else. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, time, or anyone else's approval. The power to manifest instantly lies within your own consciousness, in the feeling of the wish fulfilled that you hold steady and unwavering. When you master the art of living from the end, when you become so fully convinced and so deeply aligned with your desire, that doubt cannot enter, then nothing in the outer world can resist reflecting that truth. The universe bows to your inner state. You are the creator, the master, the sovereign of your reality. Step boldly into this truth. Persist with faith and watch as your world transforms instantly before your eyes. This is not mere hope or wishful thinking. It is the divine law of being made visible. Claim it now, live it fully, and become the miraculous manifestation you were always meant to be.